Hey guys, welcome back to Truth Seeker Insights. My name is Quashana, and I wanted to come on camera today to go ahead and let you guys know that I am doing the post of my mini series, which is going to be this video. I know the last post that I created was discussing the fact of me just being kind of disgusted with things that I've been seeing in the world. There's a lot of toxicity, a lot of things that are being normalized that should not be normalized, and it should have attention brought to it more so, but we kind of decide to sweep things under the rug and not really discuss certain aspects of our lives. So as mentioned, I know that I said that I was going to keep this channel as a motivational channel, inspirational channel. However, how can I say that I'm motivating and inspiring others without actually sharing my story of how I got to this point? So, nevertheless, I am posting my mini series today. I'm going to be posting parts 1, parts 2, and potentially part 3. I'm not really sure, but I know today is going to be part 1 and part 2. So I'm going to go ahead and get ready to lead into that. Now, before I get started on the video, I do want to give a small disclaimer for myself. The information that I'm going to be sharing with you guys is sensitive to me because it's something that I lived through. It's my experience. No, I did not make the best choices. I was a teenager when I got married. I was 18 when I got engaged. And then I got married at the age of 18 as well. So as of July the 2nd of this year, it made it 15 years that I've actually been married. However, I'm going through a divorce. My divorce has been in court for about 3 years now. I filed in 2022. So it's still a continuing thing that I'm having to deal with. But I did want to come on camera and kind of share my backstory of how I've become who I am. As the person that you see today. So I'm not going to prolong it. Like I said, I don't want to live as a victim. Yes, I did go through those things. Yes, I made choices. I was 18 when I made these choices. So some of you may look at me like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she did that. I can't believe I did the things that I did back then either. The grown, adult, matured Quashana is kind of in disbelief once I had to write out everything, look back over the decisions that I made. I was pretty shocked with myself as well. So by me sharing my story, I feel like maybe I can save someone before they make the choices that I've made. Maybe I can inspire another woman to speak out and help them through their situation, whether they've been through it or currently going through it. Maybe I can point out different red flags to people so that, like I said, you don't have to deal with it. You can know, okay, let me not take this path because this can potentially happen to me and I don't want to have to go through that. And if you're smarter than what I was, then good for you. I'm glad that you didn't have to go through anything like I went through because it is definitely tough and it can mentally take you through loops. It can make you feel less than a person. You have to think about everything that you do before you do it, and you have to make sure that you are keeping your morals in mind. So I'm going to go ahead and share my story. I thank you for joining. Hopefully it touches some who may need to hear it. Other than that, I'll go ahead and share, guys. Thank you for listening. All right, guys. So in 2006, I was a freshman in high school and he was a sophomore. So I was 14, he was going on 15. We actually had a computer class together, and the first real interaction I remember was when we were paired for a group project together. Now, it seemed we clicked right away, and over time we became very connected and started dating soon after. Now, during his sophomore year, he ended up transferring to a different school. However, we remained in contact and we check in on one another. We made it a consistent thing to follow up and just stay in contact. So I do remember each time we would talk, he'd say, Shauna, I'm going to marry you someday. I didn't take it seriously at the time due to me still being a teenager, as I wasn't thinking about long-term relationships. But by my senior year in 2010, he had actually graduated and joined the Navy and was stationed in Norfolk, Virginia. And despite the distance, he would travel back and forth from Virginia to Georgia to visit me. Now, during those, him traveling back and forth, we actually ended up getting engaged in the year of 2010, March of 2010 to be exact. And it was one of our date nights. After a quiet date, he pulled the car over into the parking lot of our old high school, the very first place we met, and he opened the passenger door, he stepped out, and he got down on one knee and proposed to me. Now, I do remember that moment so clearly. I was excited, but I did not, however, tell my parents right away, with the fear of, their response and how they would take it. But they later found out. So soon after the proposal, I actually had a phone conversation with his mother. And I remember her asking me what my intentions were with her son. I told her honestly that I really cared for him and only had pure intentions for her son. Now, my parents weren't exactly thrilled about the engagement. They wanted me to focus on my education, but they also understood how serious I was. And they told me that if I graduated from college, they would pay for the wedding. Before I left for school, my parents did get a chance to meet him, which made things feel more official to me. I actually graduated May of 2010, and by June, I had already left Georgia to attend Alabama State University. Now, I started my freshman year as a psychology major with a minor in real estate, but by early July, everything started to change so fast. And actually, now looking back in my adult years, I look back at that young girl with unbelief of how fast things moved, not thinking about my future. So this actually leads into part 2. I'm going to go ahead and put part 2 up for you guys.